Good evening, everyone. Good evening. All right, we got sound now. Awesome, awesome. Sorry about that. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Aaron George, and welcome to Beyond Talk, Walking with Purpose. This version is the blueprint is in you. As you can see, my co-host Sandra Turgot is not here today. She sends her regards. She's in someplace nice and warm today, because while we're here in Toronto suffering. So we'll see Sandra on our next show. With us, our guest today is Kennedy Iden.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Excellent, excellent. And again, for those of you that are joining us for the first time on Dorc TV or Facebook Live, Beyond Talk basically is a social mentoring forum. It's a place to engage our community in thought-provoking conversation about real-life issues, triumphs, pain, grief, growth, success. This space is designed to inspire you to foster transformation and healing. And we believe that life is a big classroom where teachers and learners are interchangeable. Our mission is to inspire you to go after your healing so you can transform. So we're talking about healing, we're talking about transformation with our guest today, Kennedy Iden. It's a young man I just recently met, and very happy to have met you, and I'm glad you're here today.
Thank you,
so
sir.
that you can share your story with our audience. And I'm sure they're all going to be inspired, just as I was when I first met you. And I must say that Kennedy's also an author, and he's got a wonderful book called The Audacity of Purpose, which I had the chance of reading in one sitting last Saturday when I got the book. Very inspiring book.
Thank you, sir.
And what I'd like to do today at the end of our talk, so I would encourage our listeners to pay attention. We're going to give away a copy of this book. I will have a question for you. We'll see if you can recall part of our conversation. We'll get this book out to you. So, again, just want to thank Dorc Productions for this opportunity. I want to thank Nana for introducing us to Dorc Productions so that Beyond Talk can be on this platform. Beyond Talk was founded by Sandra Turgot. It's been around for about 10 years right now, and started off in her basement and moved to different venues. And so we now started on this platform where we can bring you live guests such as Mr. Kennedy Iden. And welcome, Mr. Iden.
Thank you very much.
I would
Thank
love
you.
the opportunity for you to just introduce yourselves to our guests, and then we could get to the meat of the matter.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brother Aaron. Thank you for having me. Dorc Production, thank you very much. I really, really feel at home getting to see my uncle for the first time in the new year. I'm really, really excited for our viewing audience. I can see people joining us all the way from Nigeria and other parts of the world. I count this as a humbling honor done on me to be sharing some of the things I've really put to work in my life that are working tremendously well. As you may know, or some of you know, I am a pastor, and I give all the glory to God because we are what we are by the grace of God. Without the grace of God, we can't really do much in life. Being an author, be a pastor, a husband, a father, and a few other things I am doing, I give all the glory to God. I give all the honor to God. And most importantly, to be in this part of the world is really an honor done on me that I'm really, really grateful for.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, I'd like for you to, because our topic today is that the blueprint is in you. So, let's go on a journey. Right? So you mentioned you're from Nigeria.
Yes.
So Can you tell us something about your early days in Nigeria, your childhood?
All right. Born in Nigeria, and I will still trace it back to God. There are certain things that just came up in me, inside of me, and I keep sharing with people close to me that I had dreams as a little child. You know, I just become a dreamer. I want to do certain things, and that is this over 40 years of my life that I am seeing those things coming to pass, that I will still trace it back to God. From a very, very humble beginning, and everything I needed as a young man, I saw all the support. I had all the support. I had everything. But there is this desire in me just to accomplish great things, not just to go for regular life, not just to settle. Because I could still remember vividly, I told my parents, I said, to be born here, you go to school, you marry, you buy a car, marry, you just live regular life. I say, I'm not in that school of thought. I said, that is too small. I just told my parents, I said, that is small life. I said, you see me, I'm not ready for any small life. At age 9, I saw that I was launching a water project. At age 9, that at this point in time, I'm asking myself now, why should you be dreaming of launching a water project? That until I came to Canada, that dream came to pass. I came in contact with people. They said, Ken, you want to launch water project and all that. That is what you do. Whenever you are ready, we're going to work it out with you. We are very, very happy to be connected to you, that and all that. That when I look at my life, I look at God, I see that I can't really separate my life from God. I don't know other people's motivating factor. I know from the things I see, from the move I make, from the people coming into my life, even you. The day we spoke for the very first time, I tell you, as soon as I finished that conversation, all through the night, I didn't sleep. It triggered a lot of things in me that I started working on other projects. From our discussion that night, I couldn't sleep all the night. And when you're talking a blueprint now, I actually have a book titled The Blueprint for Purpose.
Wow. Audacity of Purpose, and now the Blueprint.
The Blueprint of Purpose.
Nice. So can you talk some more about that blueprint?
About that blueprint. Meaning, if you have the blueprint of purpose, because when we're coming just now, we just put your address on the GPS. I've never been to this zone before. The GPS brought us here. That with the little I've seen in life, with what I've gone through in life, and the people that are close to me, with what I've done with them, and the amazing result they have in life, I know that I can prescribe. Because when you go to a doctor, they don't waste time. When they look at your eye, if you have jaundice, if you have this, if you have that, they will prescribe for you. That I've come to the extent, I was doing it in the church and Christian arena. I felt that a lot of people in the church, they don't really understand that when people come to me right now, I prescribe for them. 3 minutes, I know where their problem is. Yesterday, I was over the phone, and as I was talking, I have a concert on Sunday, and as I was talking to one of the musicians, and he was giving me some positive vibes, some good vibes, and as I was getting the vibes, and he just threw what he's into, what he's doing. The moment he just told me that this is what he's doing, and he gave me some positive vibes, I just started opening what he was doing. I was telling him, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. And I can confidently say that, because people say, Ken, you are not a regular person. You are a vision architect. Meaning, if people come in contact with me with their vision, I take it to the next level. And I tell people in the church arena, I tell people in the business arena, that what I am very, very confident of, sure of I am born to do, I am to work with people to take them to their place of covenant fulfillment in the most pleasurable manner possible. That because for every man, for every woman, there is a special assignment, and by the grace of God, I've seen that. I've been able to work that out. I don't struggle to prophesy. I don't struggle to express people's vision and aspiration. I don't struggle to motivate people. I don't struggle to inspire people. That is what I am born to do. But I might not carry a signboard and say I'm a prophet and all that, but people that are close to me, they can really sense that ingenuity in me.
Excellent. Well, I feel that strength of spirit that you have. And I like your analogy about the blueprint, that it's a GPS.
Yes.
you know, to help to get you to where you want to go. That's pretty powerful, you know. But looking back at I know at 9 years old you had this idea of a water project, right? What exactly is a water project?
All right, talking about
a 9-year-old
that is the reason why I still give all the glory to God. Because the kind of things I think about, the kind of things I dream about, and on daily basis that I have seen the vision is becoming clearer and clearer. I don't pursue regular things. When people running to buy car, running to do some basic stuff, regular things, that when I say water project, I saw water project, launching water. You know, I said,
water to a village.
Giving water to a village, giving water to a village, launching a water project. That was what I saw. And then I shared it with one of my friends. And that my friend now told me, he said, Ken, you are not a regular guy. He told me, he said, Ken, you are going to become a senator. But I told the guy, I said, I'm not a politician, because I can't lie. I can't turn things around that. What I mean by water projects, I am the kind of person that I think more about legacy. I am conscious about posterity, because I tell people, I say, now that you are alive, this is the best time for you to write your obituary. That when you look at my book, when you look at the church, and you look at the kind of life I'm living, I just put it under 3 headings. 1, inspiration. 2, income. The third one is about impact. Meaning, when you discover your life purpose, you are inspired by everything you see. The good, the bad, and the ugly situations of your life, you are inspired. That is number 1 heading under my purpose assignment. Number 2 is that when you get the education, you get the support, like having people like you in my life now, I know that definitely we're going to get an income. Because you bought the book. You heard about the book. You bought the book. You didn't know if I didn't have money on that day. You put money in my pocket, and I tell people, when you discover what you are born to do, you might be broke now. You won't be broke for a very long time. People that will fuel, that will put money into your vision, they are certainly going to come. And again, I talk about impact. Talking about impact now, and talking about legacy project and things that will last longer than us. That is the book. Because that book can live up to 200 years, 300 years, and all that. That is what I tell people, that we living our purpose, living our assignment, that every step we make should be intentional. Meaning we do everything to fuel our life purpose. We do everything. We make every conscious effort. I told somebody today, I said to live is to learn. We learn every day. We learn every day. Life is a classroom.
Definitely.
And you said it then.
Definitely. So that's pretty impressive. Most 9-year-olds are not like you, where they have that elevated vision and they can see things. And maybe some do, but they cannot articulate it.
Yes.
They cannot connect with that.
Yes.
Right? So your experience is quite elevated. I'm impressed. I'm inspired by that. And was there any particular time in your early years where you got disconnected from that connection, that spiritual connection that you had?
No. That was one of the best gifts I got from my grandparents. I grew up with my grandparents. Right. And they told me, you must go to church. You must go to church. Everything I got today, everything I am today, I got everything from church. I keep on following God. Everything. I have my notes, writing. I just follow God, because for you to really discover who you are, develop it, and maximize it, you must connect with the Creator. You must connect.
Right.
It's a must.
The Creator or Spirit?
The Creator in spirit and in truth. We shouldn't use word. We shouldn't try to make it sound so nice, because some people, they don't want to give all the glory to God. We need to give all the glory to God. I grew up with my grandparents. They always encouraged me, Ken, go to church. And I grew up with my uncle. He said, and I learned one thing from him. One among a lot other things. He said, Ken, always be yourself. From there, I was able to get, I think I was about 17 then. I was working with him. He said, Ken, always be yourself. It was from there I got my authenticity. Because for you to really come to the place of authority, you need to be your authentic self. Meaning anywhere I go, I'm not intimidated by nobody. I'm just comfortable in my own skin.
Wow. So I guess the grandparents,
yes,
they made a difference.
A lot.
You know, that's a very a great situation. Many young people today don't have that. They don't have that strong.
Looking at it again, it's still God. Because I asked my father is still alive. I said, why did you allow 3 years just to follow the grandparent? He said that before I was born, he was told that I was not going to live with him. That I was to live.
So your first 3 years, you didn't grow up with your dad?
My first 3 years, I was with my dad. Immediately, I set my eyes on my grandmother. I just followed my grandmother. That's why I just disconnected from my parents, and I connected with my grandparents. All my life, I was with them.
Wow.
They gave me everything. And you can see in my book, I said my grandfather, he was actually my first faith teacher. Whenever I tell him of the big things, because we go to farm together, we wake up early in the morning, 3, 4 o'clock, as we are going to the farm. He will be gisting me, I'll be gisting him what I would like to become, what I want to do. He will say, son, he said, all things are possible. Anywhere you want to go in life, they are goable. He said, don't be intimidated, don't be afraid. And he says, and he says something. And he says something that is so lovely that our listening audience will certainly enjoy. He said, make sure you go to school. After that, he told me, he said, son, he said, try and own a manufacturing company.
Wow. That's excellent. That's great that your grandfather did some good things, taught you some really good things, some really good principles and some concepts which have served you very well. And when did you leave Nigeria?
I left Nigeria, I think I left Nigeria when I was 30. Was that about?
13?
30. 30, yeah.
30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And where did you go?
I went to the Caribbean. I was in Trinidad for 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Yes.
So before Trinidad?
Yeah, just from Nigeria. No, just from Nigeria to Trinidad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience.
My experience
and what brought you to Trinidad?
All right. I was to transit in Caracas. Venezuela. It was Nigeria, Venezuela, Toronto.
Yeah.
But I was to transit from Caracas. Unfortunately, I missed my flight. I missed my flight and I couldn't speak Spanish. And the people that were around me couldn't guide me. And every of the arrangements I made to leave Caracas straight to Toronto, it didn't work out. And going back again, I have to go into my share again through prayer, fasting. Even, before I boarded the flight, I was in my prayer room, I was fasting, and there was a guy that joined me on that occasion. His name is Henry Igebo. I don't know exactly where he is now. As we were praying and fasting, second to the last day, he said I was not going to make the trip. The trip was not going to happen. And I got to the airport. I couldn't leave there. I couldn't leave. It's like I was kind of stuck. I couldn't leave there. And I now asked a question, asked the people where is the nearest English-speaking country, and that was how I got to Trinidad. That's a long story. And getting into Trinidad again, that was a long story. Maybe I won't put that in book. I shared the story with somebody. They said, Ken, you got to put that in a film. You're going to put it in a film for people to see. And getting to Trinidad, I knew that was not my final bus stop. I was trusting God I'll be able to really live there so that all the things I carry in my head, you can see my head very big, a lot of amazing things that God was telling me that I really want to do. I knew that Trinidad was a bit good. Trinidad is a nice place. Everybody, all the people I encountered in Trinidad, they were all good to me. They gave me all the support. But I never lied to anybody that I was going to stay there. I told them that I was on my way to Canada, and I spent 10 years in that place. But as I was there, you told me that I was going to talk about innovation.
Yes.
As I was there, I started I started businesses. I started businesses there, from one business to the other. And as I saw people asking questions about Africa and all that, I opened African shop. Where they sell African clothes, where they sell shea butter, I had a friend here. He owns a store called Larabanga. The man's name is Larabanga.
Okay.
It's possible you know him because I've been in Canada for a very long time. He opened a store for me where I sell African crafts. Right. I was selling African craft, African clothes, shea butter, black soap, and all those things. And African music, DVD, and all those things. I opened that. And as I was doing that, a lot of people were coming to me. And they started asking questions. Right. I now find out that the people in the Caribbean, they don't really have information about Africa. They don't have authentic information about Africa. Right. When you talk about Africa, some people, they mix it up. They don't even know if it's a country or a continent. That was what gave birth to my magazine called Afro-Carib. Afro-Carib. I now tap into the wisdom of God that there was a need for an international magazine to bridge the gap between the Caribbean, Africa, and Latin America.
Okay. Are you still?
I have the magazine. It was a bit slow, but by the grace of God, after this Black History Month, I'm going to relaunch it. That was when I started the magazine, and I wrote some songs. And I was playing the music one day. I think it was the first track in my CD. I was talking about happy emancipation. I used that song to encourage the people in the Caribbean, because a lot of people in the Caribbean, they kind of bias about the people back home. They said the people back home, they are the one that sold them out as slaves.
Due to lack of information.
Yeah, due to lack of information.
Or misinformation.
I went to one Caribbean country. Yeah. I don't want to say the name of the country because I know a lot of people are watching. I'm not gonna say it. The immigration guys, it was a black boy. They didn't allow me into the country. They said, "You Nigeria, what are you doing here? You guys saw that." The guys, they were so bitter. I told them, I showed them the magazine. I said that was then that they shouldn't see us in that light. That I've come if there is anything that went wrong. That what I'm doing right now, because what I'm doing with that publication is that I pick a country from Africa, I pick a country from the Caribbean, I pick a country from Latin America. I treat our health issues. I touch on the entertainment industry. I touch on the viability. I touch on the personality. Like in Grenada, I featured a lady they call Veronica Vision. I don't know if you know her.
So you spent 10 years in Trinidad. You did a lot in Trinidad. What were some of the challenges, apart from the people not knowing much about Africa, personally, in terms of your personal growth, in terms of your purpose, your mission? What were some of the challenges? I know you're separated from your family. Your grandparents. What was it like being there by yourself? And some of your challenges.
The place was small, kind of small compared to where I was coming from, and there was no direct flights from Trinidad to Nigeria. I have to fly to the UK. It's like double to triple money to go back home. And a lot of people, and there was a guy that was trying to do it, to come up with a direct line, the direct airline straight to Nigeria. Because they don't have enough traffic, they've not been able to do that. Right. Meaning you still have to go to Britain or you come to the US, and a lot of people, most times, to get US visa from there is a bit challenging. And that for people to really live there, to go home as they wanted to, was a big challenge. And another challenge that people are facing there, I know people are watching, and by the grace of God, this will appeal to the government in power, is the security deposit. The security deposit for you to live in Trinidad and Tobago, for you to live there legitimately, you have to put money aside. And when you ask them why do they do that, or why are they doing that, they said if there is any problem, so that they will have money to deport the person back. And for people to come up with that large sum of money, it's a bit challenging. And for people that couldn't come up with that money, a lot of our people, they are in jail.
Oh wow! So how did you manage? Did you have the money?
I have to raise the money because I went to the immigration on one occasion to renew my papers. The second, you are not going home today. You're going to lock me up. I am telling you, and since I was born, I've never
How did you overcome it?
I have to call a friend. A friend now need to come for me and sign for me and tell them what they need to know and all that. That I am using this as a special appeal because we are talking about God and people praying and all that. We have to love each other. We have to see how we can genuinely support each other. Meaning that this nation, the Caribbean nation, if there are ways we can really help our people from Africa, because right now Nigeria is not in good shape. Nigeria is not in good shape. Nigeria is not in good shape at all. That I'm using this opportunity to appeal to people that can really make decisions, because I know what is happening in the embassy there in Trinidad and Tobago embassy, that before they give you visa, you have to pay that. That is a lot of money, and for you to look for tickets again is a lot of money. And because of the situation in Nigeria, let us just see how best we can support each other.
So that's for you personally, on a personal level.
Yes, on a personal
level. Was it a
level.
demoralizing situation? Did it deter you in any way from that strong spirit that you have, that strong vision that you had for yourself, and
I was limited. I was very, very limited because that magazine, as an international magazine, the idea came as an international magazine, and for me to feature people in the magazine, I have to fly my team. I have to fly them. Okay, like I featured a lady in the U.S. called Heather Headley. The person that did the photo shoot, the people that worked on the project, I have to fly them from Trinidad to go to the US to do that for me. That I was putting out a lot of money to get the vision going. And I was not getting the return. And the black people in general, we don't have, I'm sorry to say, I don't know how people will see it, but let me rephrase it. We need to have a sense of appreciation. Because look at, you just heard about my book. You bought it. The money you gave to me for that book, it's more than $1 billion. I am telling you. There are other bigger Nigerian bishop in this place. I say, please, just give me opportunity just to share my book. I put photos in the book because photos cannot lie. Because people will say they lie. I say, I put photo for people to know. I know what. They told me that their church, they don't read books. I'm telling you. But you saw, you read it, you wrote it, you gave me a good review, and that sparked up my creativity. That I can tell you that I have about 12 books I am working on. Because of people like you, that I am using this opportunity, and for the uncle that set this station together, put it together, that I am appealing every little drop of water we can just put, just to fuel somebody's purpose. It will go a long way to put that person in the right track.
Fantastic. So you were 10 years in Trinidad.
Yes.
After Trinidad, where did you go?
Straight to Toronto. Here I am. Here I am.
Excellent. And
yes.
what have you been doing in Toronto?
All right.
How long have you been here? How long have you
I'll be here now 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah. Coming here, and all the things I had written out in my plan before I came. You talk about massive action plan. I came with my blueprint. I didn't even know anybody.
Yeah.
But my joy is that I have a very understanding wife.
Yes.
That when I say I want to jump, you say, hi, you want to jump. Kennedy, the dreamer, you want to dream again? I came in less than 6 months, I started a church, because I actually started a church in Trinidad. I went to the riverine area in Trinidad. If you know Maracas, you gotta travel. We gotta work together.
Yeah.
I went to the riverine, they call it the North Coast. I went there with my little son.
Yeah.
And we started a church. Guess how many people? Nobody. We started praying on empty chair. Empty chair now turned to people, turned to human beings. If you go on my Facebook page, you will see some stuff there. And I put some things in my plan that when I come to Canada, these are the things I was going to execute. I came to Canada the first day. It was a bit late. The first day I stepped out of the house, an elderly lady walked up to me. She gave me a Bible. My first day in Canada, after spending 10 years, more years in Nigeria, the lady came, old woman. I said, why did you give me a Bible? The lady said, I don't understand English. I can't even speak English. But just take this. As I now knelt down to tell the lady thank you, she went back in. She went to bring a book by Joyce Meyer, How to Hear from God. She gave me 2 books that if there is anything I've enjoyed in Canada or I've enjoyed in my life, it's my ability to hear from God. I now asked God, I said, why should a lady, a Muslim lady, and she can't read, she don't understand the Bible, why should she give me a Bible? God now told me, he said, son, he said, that is the rod and the staff I've given to you to reign and rule in the midst of your enemy. Meaning anything you are going to do in this country, don't make God secondary. God is number one. And as I got that, I knew exactly what was on my blueprint that is going to happen. I went to Nigeria. After I came, I quickly made a trip to Nigeria because I was recruiting for Trials and Eastern College. I went to Nigeria. And as I was going to Nigeria, I told my wife, I said, when I get back, we're going to start our church. And the registration. Yeah, I started the church. I started the church. And in getting the location for the church, it was when I was signing the lease for the location that I saw that the room was named after me. It's called Kennedy Room. You can go to the to Marigold Hotel. You will see it. It's written there, Kennedy Room. Excellent. I left there. I went to another hotel in Mississauga. The room there they gave to me again, unknowingly again, it's called Kennedy Room. That why I am saying this, we shouldn't make God secondary. Meaning right from our mother's womb, he knew exactly the blueprint is in his hand. If you are not far from him, it's going to come to pass.
Interesting. So in your church, do you talk about or teach people how to have their own blueprint for life?
I try to teach that, but people in the church arena, because they get it for free, they don't take it seriously. I'm telling you.
What is that? Things that we get for free we don't value?
No, people don't value what they get for free.
So most of us that transform, the price we pay is
painful.
There's a lot of people in the church that's hurting. It's painful. They have the food, but you're saying they're not eating it.
They don't value it. Because what I was telling people then, I tell them, if you're in this church 90 days with me, if your life don't change, don't come back. Because I know what I have.
So what do you teach them? So in order for them to change that 90 days, take me through a 90-day program.
A 90 days plan. I'll first of all tell them to have, you can see, coming here, I have my paper and I have a pen to write down. Because a short pen is better than the long memory. I tell them to write their vision. Because, like you said, my people perish for lack of, where there is no vision, the people will certainly perish. For you to go to a church or to connect with a church, you must be deliberate in your action. Meaning, I will tell them, you don't come to this church without an expectation. Because Bible said the expectation of the righteous shall never be cut off. Meaning, if there is no expectation, there will be no manifestation. Because if you make up your mind, or you've made up your mind that you want to go to this church, and you know that you are fueled by your expectation, it will definitely change the way you approach things.
So, have an expectation.
Have an expectation. Write your vision.
Write your vision.
Write your vision.
Excellent.
Empower it by prayer.
Okay. Anything else?
You have to come to my training course. I'm not doing it in the I'm not doing it in the form of a church right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a marketplace pastor. No, I because what is good for one is good for all. I've seen that in the business arena, the things I am teaching in church, because I'm trained by the best, one of the best in the world. I'm trained by Bishop Oyedikpo. I went to his Bible school. All my years in Nigeria, I came with my notes. And other Bible schools I went to, I know the people that taught me. I know what I'm made of. If I'm telling people, write your vision, have a blueprint for your life, write this one, do this one, do this one, I am speaking from a depth of conviction.
Powerful. All right. Folks, how are you enjoying the conversation? Send us a line. Drop us a line. This is Beyond Talk, Walking with Purpose. The blueprint is in you. We've been talking to Kennedy Iden, telling us some wonderful stories of his days in Nigeria, 9 years old. He had a great vision for himself. He seemed to have a strong sense of purpose. Left his family, went over to Trinidad, spent 10 years there. He started several businesses, of one being a magazine. and that was just educating the Caribbean about Africa. And he started a church, and he basically teaches his people to transform.
Yes.
To have a strong vision for themselves, document, write it down,
Write a vision.
Have your vision,
Yes.
review it on a daily basis, and that will help them to transform, that renew their mind.
Renewal of mind. Yeah.
Renew their mind,
Yes.
because that's something that's
Romans
needed
12.
today.
Romans 12. Yeah.
Excellent. So we encourage you folks, those that are watching, please share the live with us, with your friends, and jot us some questions. If you have some questions for Kennedy here, please bring them forward. But I'd like to pursue the blueprint some more, because this is what we're talking about.
Yes.
And we just want to bring that to the everyday person, right? The person that won't go to church, who's not a church goer.
Okay.
They're hurting.
Yes.
You know, they want to find their purpose. They want to have a blueprint for their life and transform their life. What pointers, what would you say to that person? How would you lead them to make those discoveries and to take action on those?
All right. For people that don't have access to me directly, I can call my number. It's nothing hidden.
Or church. They don't go to church.
No, people that don't go to church, no. I've taken it out of the church. I do business seminars right now.
Okay.
Like 1st of October, I was sharing with people from the book. I've developed a coaching program called Purposepreneur, meaning purpose, from the word purposepreneur, from the word entrepreneur, meaning when you get hold of your purpose, automatically you have a sustainable business. And this is not something, it's not something somebody can just tell you that you get like that. I need to spend some time with them, and I'll package that in a coaching program. That's why I told you, when the young man was telling me about what he was doing, I was able to extract his vision and let him know from what he's doing, he can become a global celebrity. That I encourage for people that are struggling with their life purpose, they don't know exactly what to do. Even if I say it here, you cannot get everything. All what I can encourage you, my number, you can get my number from the studio. By the grace of God, I know that this will not be my last time here. That you can work closely with the studio. I can walk you through the process, because I know what I'm talking about.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I think there's a great need for healing and transformation today.
That's right.
And just for people to get connected to who they are.
Yes.
And it's just being available.
Yes.
And being able to connect, to connect with that, especially as men, black men. You know, because we go through a lot, and we're afraid of being vulnerable. You know, and have you experienced vulnerability in your 30+ years?
Yes, why not? Yes.
It's not something to be ashamed of.
Yeah, our vulnerability, our season of vulnerability, that is one of the other things that really bring out our authentic nature. Because I spent 10 years in Trinidad. All those 10 years, I was making effort to come to this place. I got to hopeless situations. All those business, they didn't just blossom at once. That when I'm telling people I can help them with the blueprint and all that, I learned from all my failures. There was a time in my life, it's like everything was flat. I had a loan, I couldn't pay the loan, the car I was driving then. I was under pressure to pay, to sell the car to pay off my loan in Trinidad. I'm telling you that our credibility, our vulnerability, all the things, I tell people, I say the good, the bad, and the ugly situations we go through, because if you read in one of the page there, it said the processing of a commodity, that is what determines the quality of that commodity, meaning the good, the bad, and the ugly situations of our life we go through in our life, those are the things God put together to make the us He made.
So those things help us to discover
who we are, our authentic self.
If we hold on,
if we faint not,
fight through it, right? Get the information that we need to help us. We will definitely make it through. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a great journey. So you have a coaching program.
Yes.
That you offer not just to the church, you offer to
everybody.
Yes.
And
it's someone can transform
Yes.
their
90 days.
life in
90 days, yeah.
Guaranteed.
90, if you are not transformed, if you don't see, because right now people need business because there is nothing like job security. But if you know exactly who you are,
Right.
you have the content, you have the ingredients, you have everything to succeed inbuilt in you.
Right.
You don't need to go elsewhere. You have everything. When I wrote the songs, I have 12 tracks in the CD. God told me, the Holy Spirit told me, he said, just adapt one song, which was an old hymn. He said, the hymns are dying, the children don't know the hymn. I adapted one song. Everything I am telling you, and I tell people, I don't steal, I don't take things from people. The book, I don't steal content from people. My song, I create my own thing. That's what I'm saying, that if people can really discover who they are, everything they ever needed to succeed in life is inside of them. And by the grace of God, we are in a we are in a good country, an enabling environment that you just put little effort. You might not be very, very rich. I'm not very rich as in having money and all that. You'll be able to see the fruit of your labor.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So it's about knowing who you are, getting in tune with yourself, getting past some of the blocks, the hurts that some definitely.
You should be ready to persevere if you want to. If you are talking about purpose, because 10 years I didn't change my vision, I didn't change my confession. I never applied to any other country. I said it's Canada I want to go to. I never went to US embassy. I never went to any other embassy. The only embassy I went to UK just to get my visa. I went to UK, the place looking. I said, no, not me. I went to Nigeria and I ran back to that. What I'm saying, even when my baby was born here, for them to give me visa to leave Trinidad, it's like it was not going to happen. I didn't change my ground. I made up my mind. I say, by the grace of God, it must happen. That for you out there trusting God for your purpose and all that, you should be ready to persevere, because good things are not cheap, and cheap things are not good.
Awesome. Awesome. So that's good. Nothing can stop a made up mind. That's true, eh?
No.
Fantastic. So you talked about in your book the 3 F's. I want you to explain to our audience what's meant by the 3 F's and the 3 M's.
Okay. The 3 F, I was taught by my bishop, Bishop Joseph Ewohime. He told us during one of the Bible school, and that was in 1998. He talked about the 3 M, the 3 F. He called it the female, he called it the fame, he talked about the finance, that most times we get into some serious trouble because of finance. And most times when we want to be famous, because some people, they carry themselves too much fame, they get into trouble. And again, somebody was sending me some video yesterday. They saw a pastor in the US, something. Female, you understand that if you don't manage those 3 things, you can go very high and come very, very low. Because you can take 100 years to really build your popularity, build your brand, build your purpose, build your everything. That one mistake like this can just crumble everything. That we need to be very, very careful when it has to something that has to do with money, because that is very, very tempting. At times you do business with people, they don't really understand what went wrong. You might be saying the truth. They might say, okay, those purpose people or those pastors, they are con men. You understand? People can just misunderstand you. And again, for you not to be humble enough, because my bishop told us on another occasion, he said, when you are not humble, you will stumble. When you are not humble, you will stumble. I cannot see you now and I feel because you are my mate, I will not respect you. I have to give you respect, and respect is reciprocal. That I encourage a young black man or white, everybody, just be as humble, because when you are humble, definitely God will exalt you. And again, we're talking about female, that before you go into like my first chapter there, I talk about integrity, meaning what you cannot do in the public, don't do it in the secret. Because somebody that is your friend today can be your enemy tomorrow. That is the world we are living right now.
Yes. It's interesting that you talked about integrity.
Yes.
How do you define integrity?
I define integrity in such a way that you just be yourself. What you cannot defend, don't do what you cannot defend.
So it's, in other words, do what you say.
Let your public life be consistent with your private life. Like me now, the code to my phone, my wife has access to to my phone. I left my phone with her whole day. She said, Ken, boy, your phone is on retirement. Your phone is just with me. I don't have that. I'm tired of phone, talking to people and all that. Don't have any skeleton in your cupboard, you know, because there is something I learned again. That's why I will still connect it to God, to church and all that. Because he said, a sin sick soul is never at peace with God. A sin sick soul is never at peace with God. Meaning, if there is sin in your life, if you are not comfortable with your public and your private life, it will even stop your creativity and your productivity.
Right, will stop that energy flow.
If uncle, when you told me that it's uncle that owned this place, if I was not in a good relationship with him, when you told me that we should come to the studio, I will tell you, I will be going to Nigeria that day. I will. You understand? When you now told me that, I will introduce you to your uncle, and I now remember it's my uncle. You said, don't worry, he's a very nice man. I now remember he's a nice man, and I have a good working relationship. Because what I tell people, okay, you now say we should talk about the 3M. Thou now took us to the 3M. We need the money, we need the material, we need the men. There's the money, the material, and the man. I need you in my life to reconnect me to my uncle. And we need the money. You gave me the money. We need the material, which is the content we are creating from here. From here now, you can start your own book. You can write your own book. Because we can't be friends for 90 days without you not having a book. And I will share with the audience why we should have a book.
I know Sandra would like that. Sandra, if you're watching, I'm going to write my book.
For sure.
I found a coach and a mentor to write my book.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
She's been getting me to, Sandra has a book for her.
Yes.
And it's a compilation of poems.
Yes.
That's very, very nice.
That is good.
Yeah, she's encouraging me. So
you should.
I guess again, so here's the testimony, right?
Yes.
You know, that I should
you should. It's very, very good. And by the grace of God, the God that connected us, from that book we can take it to a next level. I won't say it now, but I want you to know, for us to be connected 90 days, you must have your book.
Awesome.
Yes.
The book's coming.
Yes.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm enjoying the conversation that we're having.
Yes.
And we're probably going to wrap up very soon.
Okay.
And I just want to touch again on Blueprint, because that's the whole idea. I wanted to get people here, having knowing that the blueprint is in them.
Yes.
They don't have to go outside to find it.
Yes.
They don't have to leave their place of where they live or where they're born. It's something that you can carry with you forever. And I think you've demonstrated that. You know, from going from Nigeria to Trinidad, and just staying on purpose, staying true to who you are, and even getting more clarity on having a blueprint that, you know, when you finally got here, you can execute that even more to another level, right? So how does goal setting factor into the blueprint? And is it important to have, you know, have the two together, a blueprint and goal, or is it the same thing?
Yeah, your goal needs to be in your blueprint. And your goal should be something that is attainable. Like, I knew that I was coming to Canada. I knew when I get in here, I'm going to have a church. But again, you have to set goals, the goals that will be attainable. I didn't tell myself maybe in 5 years I will have a church that is bigger than that will be the talk of the town, because that is where some people really miss it in life. Because they are to have a vision and to be over ambitious is two different things. Because a lot of people in quest for their over ambition, or let me put it, ambition, they do a lot of things to hurt people. Other people, when I started the church, I never begged anybody to bring money to run the church. I was very, very comfortable in my skin. When people wanted me to do certain things that other people are doing, that I know that I could get money to be running the church and all that, I tell them, no, I have a standard. And if you are not ready for the standard, the church is not a do or die affair for me. That for you out there, don't let anything be do or die affair, because when the devil see that you see certain things as do or die affair, that is where the devil will stand and wait for you, so that you will do something that will mess up the other plans.
what are some other pointers that you want to leave with our viewers regarding blueprint, regarding having a goal, regarding transforming?
I want us to connect to our Maker. I want us to connect with our Maker. Going to church is very, very good because the things we hear consciously and unconsciously, they feed our blueprint. We learn a lot unconsciously. Yeah, consciously and unconsciously, we just learn. Because there are things I learn now. There are songs I learned as a little boy in the choir. I wonder how those things are coming back. It's good to go to church. It's good to pray. And it's good to have a small circle. I call it the selected few, people that believe in you. And again, I want you to really discover your area of strength. I am not strong in everything in life, but I major on my major and minor on my minor. You have to major on your major and minor in your minor, because as a person, if you are working with your blueprint, and one of the pastors that is online right now listening to me, he says something so profound. To him, it might just be something just regular. He said, run the race of your life on your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in there. Stay in there. Because I tell people, I say it's in the place of your authenticity. That is where your authority will be established. I'm a very, very creative person. I don't like to make trouble. Anywhere that I make people make trouble, I don't stay in a choked environment. I don't stay in a choked environment. That I am telling people, if you see anything that will bring trouble, that will bring chaos, because all those are things that will not really help your creativity. You have to stay in an enabling environment.
That is so powerful. And that's like putting it's getting insulated.
Yes.
You know, a layer of protection to make sure that you're true to you, true to yourself.
To yourself.
True to your goals.
Yeah.
True to what
because everything you need to succeed in life, you have it. You have it.
Blueprint is in you.
Yeah, it's in you. But again, Bible said you should study to show yourself approved as a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Meaning you must look for opportunity to better yourself. That's why I push series of business empowerment section. That is what I'm doing right now. That on the 28th of March, I have one. I call it Reboot 2020. I am bringing some authorities to talk on different areas of life.
Awesome. We need that.
Yes.
We need that because there's so many people that are hurting, that are just feel a sense of hopelessness.
Yes.
Be it that they're not working where they're supposed to be. They're supposed to work. The cost of living is so high.
Yes.
And trying to overcome
yes.
personal situations. So they need the information.
Yeah.
And to help them
yes.
get to where they want to go.
Yeah.
So it's very
but the problem now, the one I did on the 1st of February, how much did I charge? Guess.
Free.
Almost free, but people didn't come. Almost free, people didn't come.
Didn't
I'm telling you. You understand? I just got only about 30 people.
Yeah.
And the room can take up to 120. And if we can get up to 120, that I will beg this studio. I need support in the sense to help me promote it. I am bringing people, like one of the guest speakers that will be coming. I have people, authority from different industry to really help people. Why should people be dying in silence? Because look at it. People not going to church. They don't have mentors in their life. They've not read books. How do we faith come? Because Bible says faith coming by hearing, and by hearing the word of God. You cannot get faith by smoking weed. You understand? That I have another event, I call it Wonders of Praise. It's a vision I came from Trinidad with. God said, raise me an altar of praise. Because he said, when we praise him, our land will yield her increase. Because faith, our praises, is a high demonstration of our faith and our confidence in God. Because we need to teach our children to step up their confidence in God. That one is on Sunday from 6 to 10. Here in Resden, 306. We're using the Greater Highway. It's hosted by myself and Bishop Facey. That is going to be solid 4 to 5 hours non-stop praise. We need to praise God because we are what we are by the grace of God. Look at the way we got from another country. Look at millions of people in Canada. God now brought us together again, now connected us. That is to tell you, without the G factor, which is the God factor, we can't make.
And we got some big work to do.
And I promise you that I was looking for the ticket. I have printed tickets I couldn't really get, but I promise you that I'm going to, for the people watching that want to come, but that you will decide on who to give the ticket to. I'm giving you 10 tickets to invite your people to the, yeah, as because you are good to me. Thank you, sir.
So we've been talking to Kennedy Iden here at Byond Talk, Walking with Purpose. The blueprint is in you,
Yes.
and I can clearly see the blueprint is in you, my brother. I want to thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you,
and
sir.
I know we'll continue the conversation for
Thank
days
you.
and months to come.
Thank you, sir.
And I want to thank everyone for joining us
Thank
on
you, sir.
Facebook Live
Thank
and
you, sir.
Dorc Radio.
Yes.
I want to thank Chief Yinka for the
Yes.
opportunity again.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I had promised that we would give away one of the books written by our guest, Kennedy Iden, Authenticity of Purpose.
Yes.
And so the question I will ask for those that were following along with us is, what country did Kennedy immigrate to before coming to Canada? The first person to leave a comment naming the country, they will get this book, The Audacity of Purpose. It's a great book. I've read it in one sitting, and I'm sure that you will enjoy this book. And also, you can get this book. Is it on Amazon?
Yeah, have it on
Amazon and which
You
other
can call-
retailer, or they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, I have it. I have it in most platforms that I can't even call that. I don't even know all their names. They are there. But if they need my contact, you can come and they can contact the station. And if they want to sign up for my coaching program, I can have one-on-one. And because they are coming from this studio, I can give them the first 30 minutes of my time. I can give them free as me giving back to the studio. Because one hand don't clap.
Awesome.
Yes.
Love your heart. Love
Yes.
your heart.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So thank you again for being with us during this conversation. We will be back on the 28th for another edition of Byond Talk, Walking with Purpose. Enjoy the long weekend for those here in Ontario, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.
Thank you.